Life has a way of balancing itself. Every action creates an echo, every choice leaves a mark, and every hurtful deed carries a weight that must eventually return. You may not always see it, but the universe never forgets. Karma is not about revenge. It's about restoration, justice, and truth. When people hurt you, when they lie, betray, or mistreat you, your job is not to carry the poison of anger. Your job is to heal, to rise, to keep your heart clean. Because while you move forward, karma begins its work in silence. In this video, we'll explore 7 powerful ways karma deals with those who have wronged you, not to make you bitter, but to remind you that justice is always unfolding. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see every wound, every betrayal, and every pain you've endured. Comment below. What part of today's affirmation, what you think you become, resonated with you most deeply? Why do you think it struck a chord? Your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you're serious about changing the way you think and showing up as your highest self every single day, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss your daily mental reset. Chapter 1. The weight of their own actions. Karma's first work begins not outside, but within. Every action a person takes plants a seed, and every seed eventually blooms into a harvest. When someone hurts you, through betrayal, lies, or cruelty, they believe in that moment that they've gained something. Perhaps they feel stronger, superior, or victorious. But what they do not see is the invisible weight they've just tied to their soul. The truth is, no one escapes the weight of their own actions. The moment they choose to hurt you, karma begins its silent work. Guilt starts as a whisper. At first, it hides behind their pride, behind their laughter, behind the mask they wear to convince the world they are untouched. But as time passes, that whisper grows louder. Their mind replays what they've done, even if they try to silence it. Their heart feels the heaviness, even if they try to ignore it. And here's the lesson for you. You don't need to wish them harm. You don't need to chase justice with your own hands. The universe has already marked the debt, and they will carry it until they face it. That burden is not yours to carry. It belongs to them. Imagine a person walking with stones in their pockets. At first, it feels manageable, almost unnoticeable. But step after step, day after day, the weight becomes unbearable. That's how karma works. It doesn't always strike like lightning. It lingers, it presses. It waits for the right moment when their conscience can no longer hide from itself. And while they wrestle with that inner heaviness, you must remember this. Your path is not to look back, but to move forward. Don't let their actions chain you to their fate. Forgive, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Release the anger, because that anger is the very stone that would weigh you down if you held on. The universe has a perfect memory. What they sow, they will reap. If they planted pain in your life, pain will return to theirs, not through your hands, but through the natural balance of existence. This is the law that cannot be bent, no matter how powerful or untouchable someone may appear. So let this chapter remind you, when people hurt you, they are not walking away free. They are walking away carrying the weight of their choices. And sooner or later, that weight will demand to be felt. Stay calm, stay focused, stay clean-hearted. Because while karma places the burden on them, it is lifting it from you. Chapter 2. The reflection of their energy. Karma's second lesson is one of mirrors. The universe reflects back to every person the exact energy they have given out. It may not happen instantly. It may not happen in the way they expect. But the energy they release into the world is the energy they are destined to live with. When someone wrongs you, when they betray your trust, when they lie to your face, when they wound you without care, they believe they have escaped without consequence. They convince themselves that life will keep moving on as if nothing happened. But the truth is this: they have not harmed you alone. They have released energy into the universe, and that energy, by law, will seek its way back to them. Life is not random. Life is a mirror. The cruel eventually find cruelty surrounding them. The liar eventually discovers that truth is denied to them, and they become a victim of deception. The betrayer one day looks around and realizes there is no one left to trust. Why? Because energy creates an environment. If someone constantly sows seeds of pain, their life gradually becomes a garden of pain. They may not see it immediately, but the soil of their world changes. Their nights become restless. Their relationships lose warmth. Their joy becomes shallow, fragile, easily broken. This is not punishment. It is reflection. And here lies the beauty. You don't need to spend your life chasing justice. You don't need to dirty your hands with revenge. Life itself is the great equalizer. The universe is always listening, always responding, always sending back to each person the vibration they release. Imagine standing before a giant mirror. If you smile, the mirror smiles back. If you frown, the mirror frowns back. You can't control what the reflection shows. It only responds to what you project. This is how karma works. Every word, every choice, every action is projected outward, and the universe reflects it back in time. The people who hurt you are not escaping. They are creating their own reflection. They are building the very world they will one day have to live in. If they built it with cruelty, cruelty will live with them. If they built it with betrayal, betrayal will greet them. And you, listen carefully, you are not powerless. In fact, you hold the greatest power of all. Because while they project darkness, you can project light. While they send out bitterness, you can send out peace. While they radiate chaos, you can radiate calm. And the universe, faithful to its law, will reflect back to you what you have sown. This is why the greatest revenge is not revenge at all. It is peace. It is growth. It is rising so high that the energy they gave you cannot reach where you are. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free from the shadows of their reflection. Refuse to mirror their cruelty and instead reflect strength, wisdom, and resilience. Now, imagine this. A person throws mud at a wall. The wall gets dirty, yes, but over time, the mud dries and falls away. And in the end, the only hands still dirty are the ones who threw it. That is how karma returns energy. What people project may touch you for a moment, but it always clings to them forever. So do not waste time worrying about how justice will arrive. Do not waste nights wondering if they will pay for what they've done. The answer is already written in the fabric of existence. Their own energy is their punishment. Their own reflection is their lesson. Stay calm, stay grounded, because while they are forced to live in the shadows of the energy they've created, you are free to step into the light of the energy you choose to release. And that light will always come back to you, brighter than before. Chapter 3. The loneliness of their betrayal. Karma's third lesson is this: those who hurt others eventually face the loneliness created by their own actions. Betrayal does not just wound the victim, it isolates the betrayer. When a person lies, cheats, or mistreats others, they begin to cut away the very connections that once gave them strength. At first, they may seem surrounded by friends, laughter, and opportunities. But slowly, the truth reveals itself. People sense dishonesty. People feel cruelty. And trust, once broken, is almost impossible to rebuild. Those who choose betrayal eventually discover that they have betrayed themselves most of all. Because what is life without trust? What is success without respect? What is power without loyalty? It is emptiness, a hollow victory, a throne in an empty kingdom. That is what karma delivers to those who wound others. The silence of their own making, the loneliness of a heart that has driven everyone away. The parable of the king's cupbearer. Long ago, there was a great king who had a trusted cupbearer. This man stood closer to the king than anyone else. He tasted the wine before the king drank. He whispered counsel in private. He held secrets no one else knew. The king trusted him like a brother. But greed crept into the cupbearer's heart. One day, an enemy promised him gold and power if he would betray the king. The cupbearer agreed, thinking he could have both, the trust of the king and the reward of betrayal. He poured poison into the king's cup. But as fate would have it, the king that day insisted the cupbearer drink first, as was tradition. And in that moment, the cupbearer's betrayal returned upon himself. He died with the very poison he intended for another. This parable is not just about poison in a cup, it is about poison in the heart. When someone carries betrayal, lies, or cruelty within them, they are drinking from their own poisoned cup. Even if they seem to escape in the beginning, eventually that poison takes its toll. Back to the teaching. Those who betray do not realize it immediately, but their actions begin to empty their lives. True friends drift away. Loyal people no longer trust them. Even when surrounded by others, they feel isolated, because they know deep down, no one truly believes in them. This is karma's quiet justice. They are left to sit in the very silence they created. And here is what you must understand. You don't have to chase them, expose them, or make them suffer. Their own betrayal becomes their punishment. Their own loneliness becomes the mirror of their choices. For you, the lesson is simple. Do not let their betrayal harden your heart. Do not let their loneliness become yours. Stay true, stay loyal, stay honest. Because the same law of reflection that isolates them will surround you with people who honor, trust, and respect you. Remember, those who choose to betray will one day find themselves alone in a crowd. Those who choose to hurt will one day feel the emptiness of being unloved. And those who choose cruelty will one day beg for the kindness they once denied others. This is karma's third way of balancing life. Betrayers will always drink from their own poisoned cup. Chapter 4. The Shadows. They cannot escape. Karma's fourth lesson is this: no one can run from their own shadow. The harm people cause, the lies they tell, the pain they inflict, it does not vanish simply because they walk away. It follows them. It lingers behind every smile, every victory, every attempt to appear untouchable. When someone hurts you, they may seem free. They may act as if life has rewarded them. But deep within, shadows begin to form. And those shadows, guilt, fear, regret, will not leave them. They may bury it under distractions. They may silence it with arrogance. But shadows are patient. They wait until the noise fades, until the night is quiet. And then they remind the person of everything they've done. This is why karma is not always a lightning strike. It is often a haunting. The pain they caused begins to echo in their own mind, again and again, until escape is impossible. They may move to new places, surround themselves with new people, even pretend to change their life. But the shadow walks with them. Parable 1. The Hunter and the Trap. In a distant village, a hunter set traps in the forest. He laid them carefully, hoping to catch animals for food. But his heart was greedy, and he placed far more traps than he needed, leaving no space for life to thrive. One morning, as he checked his traps, he found nothing. Angered, he ran deeper into the woods, not watching his step. And there, hidden among the leaves, he fell into one of his own snares. The hunter cried for help, but no one came. Days later, the villagers found him. His own greed, his own trap, had caught him. This, too, is karma. People who set traps for others will one day be ensnared by the very harm they created. Back to the teaching, so when people hurt you, remember this. They are not walking away clean. They are followed by shadows. They are trapped by ledgers they cannot erase. They are haunted by echoes they cannot silence. But here is the wisdom for you. You must not let their shadows become yours. Do not carry their darkness in your heart. Do not waste your light trying to drag them into justice. Karma already has them. Their shadow will never leave them. Your job is to stay in the light, to move forward, to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to live free of shadows. Let karma do what it does best. Follow them, remind them, ensnare them. Because in the end, every person must walk with their own shadow. And those who harm others find that their shadow is heavier, darker, and impossible to escape. Chapter 5. The Echoes of Their Conscience. Karma's fifth lesson is this. No matter how far someone runs, they cannot escape the voice within. When a person chooses to hurt, to deceive, to betray, they are planting an echo inside their own soul. That echo does not die. It follows them. It grows louder with time, and it returns to them in moments of silence. The world may never know what they did. People may never discover their lies. They may wear a mask so convincing that others see only success, joy, and strength. But masks do not silence conscience. When the night is quiet, when the distractions fade, when they are left alone with themselves, the echo begins. The philosopher Seneca once said, "A guilty conscience never feels secure." And this is the truth of karma's fifth lesson. Those who harm others may appear confident, but within themselves they tremble. They may laugh loudly in the daylight, but in the silence of night, they hear the whispers of what they have done. The nature of conscience. Conscience is not something you can escape. You can silence it for a time with pride, with arrogance, with denial. But conscience is eternal. It doesn't forget. And the longer people run from it, the louder it becomes. The poet Rumi wrote, "Try to accept the changing seasons of your soul, even the winters, for they prepare you for spring." But those who hurt others never allow the winter to pass. They remain stuck, frozen, because the spring of renewal cannot come to a soul that refuses to face its own actions. This is karma's justice, not punishment from outside, but torment from within. Their own heart becomes their prison. The mirror of silence. Have you ever noticed how silence can be deafening? For the innocent, silence is peace. For the guilty, silence is unbearable. They will drown themselves in distractions, chase after noise, surround themselves with people, anything to avoid being left alone with the echo of their own deeds. But no matter how fast they run, silence finds them. And in that silence, conscience speaks. The great philosopher Socrates once said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." And those who harm others live unexamined lives, terrified to look inward. Their punishment is not only what the world brings to them, but the endless unrest that their own heart demands. Your lesson. Now, listen carefully. This chapter is not about their torment alone. It is about your freedom. Do not let their wrongs echo in your heart. Do not rehearse their betrayal, their cruelty, their lies. If you do, you will carry their punishment inside you. And that is not your burden to bear. Release it. Rise above it. Because while their conscience echoes with unrest, your conscience can echo with peace. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Remember this. Do not mirror their cruelty with cruelty. Do not echo their lies with lies. Instead, live in such a way that your conscience is clear, that silence brings you peace, not torment. For in the end, the greatest prison is not made of stone walls. It is made of guilt. And those who harmed you, whether you see it or not, are already serving a sentence written in the deepest chambers of their own soul. This is karma's fifth gift, the echo of conscience. It never fades. It never forgets. It is the invisible justice that follows them everywhere. Chapter 5. The echoes of their conscience. Karma's fifth lesson is this: no matter how far someone runs, they cannot escape the voice within. When a person chooses to hurt, to deceive, to betray, they are planting an echo inside their own soul. That echo does not die. It follows them. It grows louder with time, and it returns to them in moments of silence. The world may never know what they did. People may never discover their lies. They may wear a mask so convincing that others see only success, joy, and strength. But masks do not silence conscience. When the night is quiet, when the distractions fade, when they are left alone with themselves, the echo begins. The philosopher Seneca once said, "A guilty conscience never feels secure." And this is the truth of karma's fifth lesson. Those who harm others may appear confident, but within themselves they tremble. They may laugh loudly in the daylight, but in the silence of night, they hear the whispers of what they have done. The nature of conscience. Conscience is not something you can escape. You can silence it for a time with pride, with arrogance, with denial. But conscience is eternal. It doesn't forget. And the longer people run from it, the louder it becomes. The poet Rumi wrote, "Try to accept the changing seasons of your soul, even the winters, for they prepare you for spring." But those who hurt others never allow the winter to pass. They remain stuck, frozen, because the spring of renewal cannot come to a soul that refuses to face its own actions. This is karma's justice, not punishment from outside, but torment from within. Their own heart becomes their prison. The mirror of silence. Have you ever noticed how silence can be deafening? For the innocent, silence is peace. For the guilty, silence is unbearable. They will drown themselves in distractions, chase after noise, surround themselves with people, anything to avoid being left alone with the echo of their own deeds. But no matter how fast they run, silence finds them. And in that silence, conscience speaks. The great philosopher Socrates once said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." And those who harm others live unexamined lives, terrified to look inward. Their punishment is not only what the world brings to them, but the endless unrest that their own heart demands. Your lesson. Now, listen carefully. This chapter is not about their torment alone. It is about your freedom. Do not let their wrongs echo in your heart. Do not rehearse their betrayal, their cruelty, their lies. If you do, you will carry their punishment inside you. And that is not your burden to bear. Release it. Rise above it. Because while their conscience echoes with unrest, your conscience can echo with peace. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Remember this. Do not mirror their cruelty with cruelty. Do not echo their lies with lies. Instead, live in such a way that your conscience is clear, that silence brings you peace, not torment. For in the end, the greatest prison is not made of stone walls. It is made of guilt. And those who harmed you, whether you see it or not, are already serving a sentence written in the deepest chambers of their own soul. This is karma's fifth gift, the echo of conscience. It never fades. It never forgets. It is the invisible justice that follows them everywhere. Chapter 6. The cycle they cannot break. Karma's sixth lesson is this: those who hurt others trap themselves in a cycle they cannot escape. Every harmful action sets a pattern, and that pattern repeats until it consumes them. When someone lies, they must tell another lie to protect the first. When someone betrays, they must betray again to cover their trail. When someone mistreats others, they begin to live in a world where mistreatment feels normal. They believe they are in control, but in truth, they are trapped in the very cycle they created. This is how karma works. It allows people to build their own prison without realizing it. Each wrong choice adds another bar to the cage. Each harmful deed tightens the chains. Over time, they lose freedom because their life is controlled by the consequences of their actions. You may look at them and think they have escaped, but watch carefully. Their patterns follow them. They lose good people. They destroy opportunities. They push away peace. The cycle repeats again and again, and each time it grows heavier. And here is the lesson for you. You must break the cycle. You must not let the harm done to you turn into harm you pass to others. If you were lied to, do not become a liar. If you were betrayed, do not betray. If you were hurt, do not hurt others in return. Because the moment you choose differently, you step out of the cycle. This is your power. This is your freedom. To let karma deal with them while you rise above. Their cycle will hold them down. Your choice will set you free. Chapter 7. The Justice of Time. Karma's seventh and final lesson is this: time is the great revealer, the great judge, the great healer. When someone hurts you, when they betray your trust or wound your heart, it may look as though they have escaped. Days pass, weeks pass, and it feels as though nothing has happened to them. They smile, they succeed. They go on as if the universe has forgotten your pain. But listen carefully. Karma forgets nothing, and time misses nothing. Time is patient. Time waits until the moment is right. It doesn't rush. It doesn't need to. Because what people plant today, they will harvest tomorrow, and tomorrow always comes. A cruel word may bring them a false victory for a moment, but in time, that same cruelty returns to them. A betrayal may give them what they want for a season, but in time, they are betrayed. A lie may help them rise quickly, but in time, that lie collapses beneath their feet. This is not revenge. This is balance. This is the slow and steady hand of time, making sure that no deed, good or bad, is ever left unpaid. The patience of karma, because while time is preparing their justice, time is also preparing your breakthrough. Every day you rise above their cruelty. Every day you choose forgiveness. Every day you refuse to mirror their actions. You are stepping closer to your freedom. Your freedom in time. Time teaches you that wounds are not permanent. The pain you feel today will not last forever. The betrayal you carry will one day feel lighter. The tears you cried will one day give way to laughter. Just as storms pass, just as night always turns to day, so too will your pain turn into strength. The closing truth, so trust time. Do not rush to punish. Do not waste your days waiting for karma to strike. Instead, move forward boldly. Build your peace. Live in your purpose. Because time is already moving, karma is already working, and justice is already unfolding. In the end, you will see that no one escapes the justice of time. And you will see that you were always safe, always protected, and always destined to rise above what was meant to break you. This is karma's seventh and greatest lesson. Time balances all things, And in the end, everything returns to where it belongs. If this message spoke to your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another powerful teaching like this.